Yo, what's going on, Planet S.O.N family? It's your main man, JD. Thank you for tuning in. This is Drinks with JD. My main man, Jazz.
Hey.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Good?
Yes, I am.
No doubt, no doubt. It's nice to see you, man.
It's good to see you, brother.
How's this,
It's been a minute.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's the, COVID treating you?
Well, COVID is good. You know, I'm keeping the parents in, and we're staying under the radar, making sure we test everybody. And
For sure.
so we're good.
Have you, picked anything new up during this pandemic?
No.
Like any new hobbies?
Well, I've been going back to the homeless shelter.
Oh, wow.
So, you
How's
know,
that?
I really enjoy it. I'm going with Kevin Lane,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a pastor over at Reach International for Christ. We go downtown and we feed them and we sew. You know, I play and
Wow.
sing. So I really enjoy that.
That's real cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how often do you do that?
Twice a month.
Wow.
hmm So we were doing it once a week for a while there, but now, you know, COVID,
Of course.
so it's just now opening back up.
Oh, so you've been doing it
We
even
did
before COVID?
Yeah, we did it before COVID, and it was very rewarding. So now that they're opening the doors again, it's good to be able to get back and see some of the same old faces.
No doubt. Did you do it in different places in San Diego or just that one spot?
So God's Extended Hand is downtown San Diego. That's where we primarily do it.
Okay.
But then with him, I also hit the convalescent homes. So
Wow.
we'll do the convalescent homes, and that I really enjoy
Yeah.
because you get the chance to meet people
Mm-hmm.
from all walks of life and hear their stories.
Of course.
Oh, it's incredible.
I mean, to just gain that knowledge, I mean, from older people,
Right.
the older generation.
Right.
That's
There's
pretty cool.
this one lady, her name is Mary, and she's got these deep blue eyes. She's got to be 90.
Yeah.
And she was a vaudeville model. I mean, she was in vaudeville.
Wow.
And so she loves to get her little scrapbook out and show pictures of her when she was a dancer in vaudeville.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I take her out to the patio and brush her hair. But it's just fun, man,
Wow.
to sew.
Of course, especially, I mean, just to, learn a lifetime of stories.
Right.
Right? Literally,
Right,
a
right.
whole lifetime.
Right.
How old are these people, though?
You see, well, most of them are geriatric. I mean, you know, they're pretty much 80
Mm-hmm.
and upwards. You know, some of their family members may have abandoned them. You know,
Wow.
whatever the situation is, they're there. And then to just take the time out to go listen to their stories,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, is that something you always did, or
Yeah.
how did you get involved in that?
I started. I always had a heart for the homeless,
Mm.
and I write a lot of songs that deal with just that. You know, and our awareness of not forgetting that, you know, that could be me. You know, and then maybe at some point in time it was. So it's just been something that's been with me a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing that you at least try your best to give back, because I think that's what we all should do.
Yeah.
You know, to just give back to our community and
Right.
and also, I mean, talk to the older generation.
Right.
You know, and allow them to teach us how to just be better. I mean, I also heard that term where they say youth is wasted on the young.
Wow.
You know, so it's
Wow.
like, you know, because I mean,
Yeah.
when you're young,
Yeah.
you know, you have all this energy, you have all this time,
Right.
you know, and you're full of ambition. You want to, you know, do things, and you're able to do things.
Right.
You know, but imagine if, you know, a 20-year-old had the knowledge of an 80-year-old. You know, how much can they accomplish
Oh, my
in those next
goodness.
60 years
Yes.
when they turn 80?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how much can they accomplish? You know, so what I'm saying is, imagine if those 20-year-olds are molded by the 80-year-olds.
Yes.
You know, and then they
Yes.
can have all that knowledge, and then they won't waste their youth.
If I'd have known at this age, you know, or back then what I know now, oh man, things would be so much different, bro. but grateful.
No, I totally understand. And like I said, the whole thing of youth is wasted on the young. I just hope that well, regardless, it's people like us.
Yeah.
Because I know I do my part as far as try to mentor the younger kids.
Right.
I mean, obviously they could take my advice or not, but in the end, that's just up to them. But at least I'm doing my part.
Yeah, you make you make that knowledge available, and it's important. Sometimes they're gonna listen, sometimes they won't.
Of course.
But at least you made the effort.
For sure. Now, let's say during COVID, right?
Yes.
And during this whole bubble or quarantine, right? That we're supposed to be.
Right.
Did you get into any new movies, or did you do something other than what you would regularly do?
Yeah.
Like, did you get into Netflix or a new show?
I got into Netflix, and I'm doing Designated Survivor.
Okay.
And I freaking love it. I can't get enough of it.
Okay.
I'm sorry that it's over now because I went through all 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But
so wait, Designated Survivor.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of this.
Really?
So it's a show?
Yes.
It's not Survivor it's Survivor.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And the Designated Survivor is who the powers to be pick to be the president in the event that the president and the vice president are, assassinated.
Oh, wow.
Or taken out. So you need someone to be the designated survivor.
Okay.
And whoever picks that person, is whoever picks that person. But so this guy, he's just a HUD secretary. And the next thing you know, the Capitol gets blown up.
Wow.
And he was picked to be the designated survivor. But bruh,
so it's 3 seasons of this.
So many twists and turns. You do not know who you can trust.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy.
So did you barely get into it? Like, as in you binge watched?
That was my first time when I started the series. I was like, man, because I like political things.
Okay.
I like structure.
Okay.
And once you start it, it doesn't stop.
You just kept watching.
Right. I mean, I went through the first season probably in a week.
Wow.
And then, I kind of tapered off. And season 2, take my time. Yeah. Season 3, I hated to see it end.
No doubt. Now, before quarantine, were you into any type of movies, any type of shows?
Not like that. I mean, Power.
Okay, Power. Okay.
So I do Power. I like Power. And then I was into one that was called The Godfather of Harlem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that also on Netflix as well?
Yes.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
If you haven't seen that one. Whoop.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, man. Yeah. It chronicles because it goes back.
Yeah.
And, you have a combination of both Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And there's a whole bunch of different characters. Wow. You got Bumpy. Oh, man.
Wait. So you're saying that there's actual... Okay, so it's fictional?
It's fictional.
Oh, okay.
It's fictional.
Yeah.
But you get a chance to see the backstories of their lives. And
Okay.
and the political figures that were going and what was going on at the time.
I see what you're saying now. Okay.
So it's pretty cool. Muhammad Ali is loosely introduced because he's the young Cassius Clay at that time. So, you'll see those characters filter in and out.
Yeah.
And but it's well written.
Yeah. So it's the king of Harlem.
Yeah, the King of Harlem.
Okay. That's awesome.
Godfather of Harlem.
Oh, Godfather. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's say music-wise, do you think that quarantine has helped you create, or how about this? Some people say that when you're locked up, right, in any situation, you're not able to be creative, right?
Right.
Now, do you think that quarantine, since you were supposed to stay inside, were your was the creative energy flowing, and were you able to create new music that inspired you during that time? Yeah,
because of we're more exposed to the media now. Yeah. You're more engaged in what's going on, and so at first it could seem like it's a tomb or a prison, but in reality, it's breeding ground for me. So I'm motivated by what I see and what I hear, and we certainly put one together called "I Can't Rest in Peace" after the murder of George Floyd, and so that moved me to write that piece which we're just getting ready to release.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jazz. So me and you, we know each other,
Yes.
right? Now, please introduce yourself to Planet S.O.N.
Okay.
Let them know your name and let them know who you are.
Okay. Well, my name is Rodney Burns. I am a native San Diegan. I've been here since 1964, since I was born. I'm a songwriter. And hi.
No doubt. Thank you for being here with us, man.
Right.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you for having me.
Long overdue. Long overdue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a minute.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I just think, me personally, as your friend, I feel that the spotlight should be shined on you because, I mean, from your work that you've done in the past and stuff that you're doing now.
Yes.
I just feel like you need a brighter light on you. So hopefully, the Planet S.O.N. audience could get to know you a little bit more, and they could also appreciate you just the way I do.
Well, I think I probably have spent a considerable amount of time staying out of the limelight.
On purpose?
Yeah, I think so. I think simply because I like the work itself to speak for itself, which is one of the things I love about you. I'll tell you an idea. I'll tell you something that I have for a song, and you'll be like, you come up with this whole. But it's you have a concept. You see it through your eyes, through the eyes of a photographer and an artist. So I kind of like the lyrics and or the music to speak for me. But this is a necessary evil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're right.
Yeah.
Now, do you prefer? Well, how about this? How would you classify yourself? Like a musician, an artist, or a songwriter?
Okay, so I'm a songwriter.
Okay.
I'm a songwriter first.
Okay.
Who has the ability to play the piano and sing.
Okay.
Songwriter first because that is a gift. That's not something that I had to cultivate. That was given to me. The piano playing is a talent. I had to learn to play, and I had to cultivate that, and get better in time. And I think singing might have been a gift as well because I didn't really have to work at it. It was just something that was there. So those things work together. Grew up in the church, singing in the church, not necessarily knowing how to play the piano, but wanting to, and seeing the different musicians, and so I go up there.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, and learn.
Yeah.
So it's been a labor of love, but I'm a composer. I like to take words and put music to them, and tell stories that way.
Now, do you think that, as far as songwriters, you're supposed to stay out of the limelight, just so you could let your songs flow through the artist?
I think people like me, I have to search for the songwriter. So, I hear the music, I see the artist and the person that they've put out there. But if you don't open the credits and if you don't look for the songwriter, you may not never know that Bernie Taupin wrote all of the music for Elton John. Elton John is who you see playing and singing the songs, but Bernie Taupin is the songwriter.
Wow.
So it is a reclusive thing, but yeah. But then I like to see the songwriters. I like to see them have attention too. I mean, some of them don't want it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, who's your favorite songwriter?
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder? Wow.
Yeah. I, as a boy growing up, I think his music inspired me and it influenced me to write the way I write, and it's not to say in a rhythmic way or a rhyming pattern. It's words with substance. So, and there was always a deeper message in Stevie Wonder's music, always, So I think I still follow that today. We champion causes like Down syndrome and cancer and racism, but, then, we do the lighter stuff as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, who is your music for?
Well, I write every genre. So I write classical, I write jazz, I write R&B, I write gospel, I write rap. I don't necessarily do all those genres, but I do write lyrics. So, I even write country music.
Wow.
Yeah. A third of my catalog is country.
Huh.
So,
so your songs are universal.
Yeah, they're for everybody.
For everybody.
They're for everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite type of music?
Mine?
Yeah.
Jazz. Just like my name.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was that nickname given to you?
No, I created a character.
Okay.
I created a character in one of my provisional novels called The Holiday Years. Well, the first book is called Criminal Affair. And then, and in that book, there's a character named Jazz Holiday. So that's me in the book. And I'm literally telling life stories, but, I'm embellishing, so, and then I write the prequel to that book, to Criminal Affair. I go back into Jazz's boyhood, and I call that The Holiday Years.
Wow.
So these are two provisional novels. We haven't put them out yet. They're still on the table, but yeah, awesome, so that's where jazz came from.
That's awesome. Not only are you a songwriter, you're also an author. Or do you just write everything?
I do short stories.
Okay.
I love to write. Math isn't my thing. Yeah. Writing is. And so, I'll if it's writing, that I love it. It can be a short story, it can be a song. I write poetry. Yeah.
So you just love storytelling as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing. And now, when did you pick this up? Like as a kid? Like did you just like telling stories, or?
I think as a boy.
Okay.
Because I have a very vivid imagination.
Okay.
So I can just create right off the top of my head. Yeah. Some of it is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have one called I think 19. I have to look at what it is, but I'm using the alphabet.
Okay.
So those letters spell out the particular girl's name that I was dealing with at that time, and I just put us in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
I put us in a world where names were forbidden. You can only use numbers. Yeah, wow. That's what it's called. 2050.
Okay.
So 2050, the 20th letter and then the 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you created it.
I created it
as a kid.
And I created the whole world.
Wow.
Yeah, I created that whole universe, and in the end, these two wound up having a child, and they gave it a real name.
Wow.
Yeah, so it kind of like changed.
Yeah, it just broke the rules of the entire world.
Then, it's 2050, it's like, 1581, but now we named her something else.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of
now, did you ever tell this little girl what you were doing?
I did. I did.
Yeah, how did she take it? She was like, get out of here, weirdo.
Right. And we wound up being like boyfriend and girlfriend, but really.
So it wasn't like you were stalking her or nothing like that. Okay.
I speak of her very fondly because she has since gone home to be with the Lord.
Apologize.
And so she inspired me to write.
Yeah.
She always encouraged me with my writing, and and I have yet to share with her daughter those writings, because while I was on one of my tour of duties, I wrote a lot, and she was the subject.
Wow.
She was the subject of all of those short stories.
Yes.
And she was the subject of a lot of the songs.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, as far as your tour duty, can you elaborate a little bit?
So I was a bad boy, and I spent a little time behind bars, to say the least, a little bit. But during that time, I wasn't locked up.
Okay.
I was incarcerated, but my mind was free, and I wrote at least 50% of my catalog while I was locked up.
Wow.
So it might seem like it's an area where you die or where you can't grow, but for me it was fertile ground. And I did the time. I didn't allow the time to do me.
That's amazing. Jazz, a couple weeks ago, you shared this amazing story during your time of duty, and you spoke about how you impacted certain inmates, right? Back in the day when you met a certain person, and you shared your stories or your songs with them. Oh, I believe a song. That's what you said.
Yes.
Years later, they found you again, and they spoke to you and reminded you about that. Can you tell the story? I just thought it was an amazing story, and I just want people to hear it.
It's really amazing that,
just take it back. Take it from the beginning.
Fast forward. I go, and I'm incarcerated, and during my time, I always gravitated toward the chapel. So I learned Misa Catholica because I didn't want to be in that cell.
Okay.
So I learned how to play for the Catholic service. I learned how to play for the Protestant service and the Anglo-Saxon service because I just wanted to be. So they would bring me in, and I pretty much spent most of my time in the chapel playing for all the different services. So the men got to know me, from all walks of life.
Of course.
And then we would do our little R&B thing. Everybody, hey man, what you do? Okay, whatever. Yeah, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
But so this one particular time when I was getting ready to leave, I had prepared a piece for the gentleman, and
for him specifically.
For the men.
Oh, okay.
He took it for himself specifically.
Okay.
And it was called "She's Our Woman," and I did it. And I sang it, but I only sang it that one time.
Yeah.
It's not like I practiced it or anything. I brought in.
Yes.
And the next morning, I was leaving.
Yeah.
So I had the guys in. I said, I'm just going to bless you guys with this particular piece. And I did. And he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody that was there enjoyed the song.
Yeah.
And then I went home.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking maybe, at least 10 years later. I was on another tour of duty at a different facility. Yeah. And this guy who I wouldn't have known from Adam.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people.
Of course.
He comes up to me and he says, "Is your name Rodney?" And I said, "Yeah, who are you?"
Right, hey, who's asking?
Like, wait a minute. Yeah. and then he said, "Do you play the piano? You write songs?" And I said, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah.
And from that, he said, "I got this song, man. This song that you sang a few years ago that I never forgot."
Yeah.
And I said, "What's the name of the song?" And he told me, "She's Our Woman," and he sang it word for word.
Wow.
And it just blew me away.
Yeah.
He told me that he used it to bridge the gap between him and his wife that were still together. They stayed with him all that time.
Of course.
So, and there's pieces of poetry that I left behind too that guys, because me being a writer, you encounter people behind bars that don't know how to write. And so I used my skill for writing to write letters for them, maybe to fill out their canteen list or whatever. But that's just, that's my gift. My gift is writing. And so, even the pieces of poetry they would send to their wives or their girlfriends and stuff, those things are still circulating around.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You see how you impact so many people.
Right.
With just, your writing skills.
I wish I could find a copy of The Wind, The Rose, and the Thorn.
Was that it?
That was a piece that I wrote.
Okay.
That is, it's all around the penitentiary.
Yeah.
And guys use it to send to their girls because you've got the wind, which is the adversity that we go through.
Yes.
The rose, which is the girl or the lady that's sticking by you, and the thorn, which is the guy. And so I told a metaphoric story about how, through all of the trials and tribulations of life, you know, they still had to stay together, and that it's circulating somewhere. I don't think I'll ever see another copy of it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So you write these amazing stories, right?
Yes, sir.
And you know, I feel that by what you're saying, that you put your heart and soul into it.
Yes, sir.
Now, have you ever been scared to be vulnerable in your music? Like, let's say something that you refuse to share.
Yeah.
Have you ever been scared?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I about 6 years into a sentence, well, much earlier on than that, but during a period of time when I had to do some time, my first wife got pregnant by my best friend.
Oh, wow.
Twice.
Wow.
And had the babies.
Wow.
And it was a very, you know, for a young guy, a young kid that, you know, has no real understanding of those type of things, it was devastating.
Of course, of course.
And but some of the best music that I've ever written came from that. But that was a period of time where I had to learn to be vulnerable. I couldn't even get through singing them. You know, they just would bring me to tears because of, you know, that's just it's touchy. But today, of course, now I can do them, and they heal other people. You know, other people that may be going through that. You know, I'm able to share those pieces, and I see the visible reaction because they came from pain. You know,
that's amazing, man.
Yeah, but there was a time when I couldn't even talk about it, let alone sit behind a piano and sing my pain. You know, sing exactly, and I'm transported back now. I remember exactly. I remember the emotions. I remember what it felt like when I got the news the first time, and then I began to heal. And it took me a year to kind of put up on the scab, and then she got pregnant again, and the scab came off, and it was terrible.
Oh, for sure.
But
I mean, I can only imagine.
I wrote it out.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote it out,
and that was also your way to process it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that word means a lot to me. The process, learning to process it. You know, the way we, you know, everybody is different. You know, I can't tell you how to do it, but I needed to be able to process that pain.
Exactly.
And I remember there was this older gentleman that told me I needed to forgive her. And I'm like, that's not gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. This is the second time that, you know, and we were still married, but, you know, I was, you know, in my mind, you know, still trying to work things out, but, you know, she had moved on. So he said, as long as you hold on to that animosity, well, first he said, she's not your wife anymore. And I was looking at him like I was ready to hit him, but I knew better. He said, she belongs to someone else. And that's something you're just going to have to accept. He said, but if you don't forgive her, anything that she does will cause you to respond. You need to forgive her, not necessarily because she needs to be forgiven, but so that you can be forgiven, so that you can be free of the reaction, of the control that's taking place. You hear about her at a family reunion, you hear about, you know, you're not getting any letters, and everything that you hear that she's not doing for you makes you respond a certain way. So forgive her, so you can be free. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn, and it didn't happen overnight.
For sure. Because it's the process.
Right. It was a process.
First of all, how you're processing it, and also the process to get to the end.
And I think those were probably some of the most beautiful songs that I've ever written. Even though I have one that's called I'm Still Hating You. But it's a beautiful love song because I'm saying I'm still hating you not because you ignored my cry for help. I'm still hating you because you gave up on yourself. And when you gave up on me, you gave up on yourself.
Wow.
You gave up on us. But, you know, there are many, many, arguments that can be said there because, well, you're sitting behind bars, so you left her.
Of course.
So
different perspective.
Yeah, you know. So
like, what's her perspective,
right,
versus what's yours?
I take my hat off. I salute the ladies that stand by their man as long as they can or indefinitely when they're incarcerated. It's a powerful thing. And from my time behind bars, I created love letters. I said that I would write to individuals who I don't know, just send letters into perfect strangers to let them know that somebody on the outside is thinking about you.
Wow.
Because you go through day in and day out and you don't hear your name in the mail, it affects you. So hats off to you ladies and men that are looking out. But there's two sides to every story. Sometimes separation is what's needed.
That's amazing that you met a mentor in there.
Yeah.
Because we all, well, as men, right, we need those mentors to guide us.
Yes.
To guide us and help us learn and help us get from boyhood to manhood, and while learning forgiveness, that's real manhood. Let's say, for this example, I'm sure that you hated this person at a certain moment in your life. Yes. And that just, it consumed you. Yes. But I'm pretty sure now, right, after learning from your mentor and processing everything, I'm pretty sure you could tell me that you love that person. Yes. Who you used to hate.
Yeah, we're the best of friends.
But yet you feel so free.
Right. I feel free. She stays right down the street from me. Yeah. We're not intimate, but we're the best of friends to this day. We raised, our kids are grown now, but, of course, there's a period of time where you're thinking to yourself, I can't wait to get out of here so I can handle some business.
Of course.
But, time heals all wounds, and I channeled mine through writing. But what I didn't tell you was when that old man got to me, I'm standing at the top of the stairs, getting ready to jump down. I'm thinking about committing suicide. I'm like, all I got to do is just jump and land on my head, and it's over with. I ain't got to deal with this, know?
Yes.
So he had enough vision to see that, too. He's like, hey, get over here. What's going on? And, I broke down and I cried because the reality is you don't know how you're going to respond to something like that until it happens.
Of course.
Of
course.
But I was able to, again, one thing that was orchestrated for me being a young man at that time, I said, you need some time to yourself. What you don't need is to be around a whole bunch of people. So just go to your cell, lock yourself in there, take some time to yourself. Get off this floor, get off this day room floor, and, focus on yourself. And, those were trying times.
One thing that's fascinating about your skill and your talent, how you could sit there and write and you could display it and people could hear it, or also visually see it, right? Because they could read it themselves, and that could help them process the same thing that you already processed, and then they are able to process it because of you, because of your talent.
Right. In music, I'm able to do that. I'm able to convey that through lyrics. And then each person is going to hear it differently. Everyone's going to hear what I'm saying in a song differently.
Exactly.
They're going to hear what they need to hear.
Now, do you think that your music can change a person's point of view of how they see the world?
Absolutely. And I say that because I write a lot of, contemporary Christian music. There's a piece, I say, did your wife make you breakfast? Did you roll out of bed? Did you find a jacket to cover your head? Well, I woke up under a tree. What about this Jesus you told me about? The one you said walked on the sea. Is he too busy? Is he still around? Does he give a damn about me? So they resonate. That resonates with them because I'm not taking the side of just the average. I'm letting you know that when I see you, I'm not going to walk past you. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stand over you. I'm going to sit on the ground with you, and we're going to chop it up. And if there's something that you need, I'm going to meet the need and not say be warmed and be filled and, you know, and get in my car and bounce. You know, it's not always a monetary thing. Sometimes people just need to be listened to. Sometimes they just want to be heard. Sometimes they do want that dollar. And I'm not going to tell you not to go buy a beer, because that might be exactly what you're getting ready to do. What you do with what I give you is your, you know, that's up to you. But I'm going to give it to you out of the spirit of love, and then you figure it out.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, we're speaking also right now about community, right? About different people.
Right.
Now, given the climate of the world today, what's your response to the BLM movement?
Well, there's I just wrote a song called "I Can't Rest in Peace," and of course, this is a situation. These things have been going on for a long time.
For sure.
You know, it's been going on for centuries.
Yeah, and also it's even been documented. Like, as in, let's say with Emmett Till, or
exactly.
You know, we could even go back to slavery, or
exactly.
You know, we could go back and we could actually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even till today.
So we got Chris, who you know, another photographer and videographer, to tell the story visually. So there's no caption of me or any footage of me whatsoever. Just those images to tell the story of the current climate. And our response is, I can't rest in peace, not until you no longer see me as a threat. So I won't rest in peace. He won't rest in peace. She won't rest in peace. They won't rest in peace. We won't rest in peace. And Steve over at The Underground, DJ Steve O, formerly with American Veterans Radio, he's going to break the song this Saturday.
Wow.
And so it's going to be really nice. And then it's already in all of the platforms ready for Chris to hit the button on, but we want to give the exclusive to Steve, let him go ahead and put it out there, and then hit the button on it and upload it to everybody and send it to their DMs and send it to the, because it's a powerful imagery that's our response to what's going on. And, not championing anything other than the fact that let's put an end to.
Yes.
Let's put an end to it.
Yes, because you're not capitalizing on it.
Absolutely.
On anything. It's just that you're just highlighting. Yeah, highlighting what's been going on.
Absolutely.
How we just spoke about, like, Emmett Till, but even also Martin Luther King.
Exactly.
Or Malcolm X.
And those images are there.
Yeah.
Because it's important for you to be able to see the black and white and the color, and go back and forth so you can see what was, what was, what is. And Chris did a wonderful job piecing that together.
Yeah.
I think you've had the privilege of being able to see it.
Yes. I got a sneak peek, and it was amazing.
And so we're, that's our response. But again, not to draw attention to ourselves, only the issue.
Yes. Now, this will probably be released after you release that music video.
Yes.
Can you let everybody know right now, so we could at least put out a link right now on this video where they can see it?
Well, when we upload it, it will be uploaded to YouTube, Spotify. It'll be uploaded.
What is the song called again?
It's called "I Can't Rest in Peace"
by
Rodney E. Burns.
Okay.
Of Caught Up Music Group. And Chris did the video, Chris and Hombre. But our climate dictates that sometimes we have to put a serious hat on, and look at what's going on, with the political situation today and all the different things. You just have to,
for sure.
say your piece. But Yeah, I like good music too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, right now, you mentioned Caught Up Music Group,
Yes.
right? Now, can you elaborate about that or just speak on Caught Up Music Group?
So Caught Up Music Group is comprised of the CEO, John R. Foley, myself, Rodney E. Burns, and we are collectively accumulating bodies like Chris, my nephew Preston. Now these are individuals that have their own footprint, but they're lending their talents to Caught Up Music Group, and it's really changing the paradigm.
Yeah.
It's really
You're just
nice.
creating your team.
Yes, we're creating a team, bringing people together. We're in our embryonic stages, but we have some things on the table. And the next time I see you, we'll talk about the one that's on the table right now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it's going to be really, really nice.
Now, can you talk about the artists who you invite over to your studio as far as for the Caught Up Music Group?
So we've been working with a host of individuals. First young lady we had in there was Aviana. Then we brought Ileana and Gabby.
Yeah.
And then, Chris. We've had Sam the Black. And then, we've had like Floyd Smith, the musicians that back different groups. So it's just kind of like a melting pot of individuals.
Yes.
Crawford came in and they're finding it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You can come to San Diego, get LA studio quality right there in Dago and not have to travel too far.
Yes.
Atmosphere is cool and, hospitality.
That's awesome. And this is for any artist?
Any artist,
here independent.
In San Diego County. Yeah. So, we're focusing on the tiny desk type atmosphere, if you want to come in, you want to do live recording or live streaming, you can do that. Or if you want to come in and you just, you already got your own music, you just want to lay your voice, you can do that. Or we can build you a track from the ground up.
That's amazing.
So it's real cool.
Now, are you inviting all the artists?
Anybody that wants to come through Caught Up Music Group, whether you're signed or unsigned, you want a good, we have what's called exclusive recording services where we don't punch a clock. You come through and, we just take care of you.
Now, how can they contact you?
You can contact us at www.caughtupmusicgroup.com or at 619-962-7033. And, leave us a voicemail or an email and we'll get back to you.
Do you guys have social media?
Yes, we do. All of them. So when you go to Caught Up Music Group, all of the links at the bottom were Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Facebook, just click them.
That's amazing.
That's our pages.
Now, since we mentioned how me and you know each other,
yes,
a story that I really want you to share because I think it's pretty amazing. The first time that you felt like you were recognized for your music, for your songwriting skills, and something that you blessed me with, I got an album, right?
Yeah,
it's a full album.
Yeah,
that Jazz helped write, and I have an autographed copy of Rodney Jazz Burns. And so, can you share to Planet S.O.N. About the story about your first album? I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
Or what would you consider this?
So what this was this was a project that Leonard Thompson had just started a record company by the name of Trump Type Productions, and they were a group of young, brilliant minds that were soliciting for songs from local artists and local vocalists and for First Commandment. And so First Commandment, I submitted 14. Out of the 14 that I submitted, they picked up 5 and used my song as the title track, No Compromise.
Wow.
So he gave me my start as a songwriter here in San Diego, a commercially published songwriter. And so for that, I'm eternally grateful to Mr. Thomas, which now he's gone on to be Mandate Records. And Mandate Records is, like that?
Perfect.
Is the number one promoter of gospel music. They have God Radio 1, where they stream and they do live gospel music. So the Lord has blessed him, and that's who gave me my start. So that's dear to me, and I'm glad that you brought it up and that you held on to it.
So how did you feel when you got recognized?
It felt so good because I got recognized for being a songwriter, and then to have them commercially published and sang, and you hear it on the radio. It was just a good feeling, and it was amazing, especially for myself as a young boy. So before we finish this up, I brought something for you. Since this is Drinks with JD, I figured I would
Thanks, man.
bring something for you.
You didn't have to, but I'm appreciative.
And so I would like to present you with a San Diego shot glass.
There you go.
Drinks with JD.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
very,
you.
very, very welcome.
I'm appreciative. Thank you so much, Jazz. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing. There you go. I'm about
Yeah.
to,
there you go,
here.
baby.
There you go. There
you
you
know,
go.
619.
All day. Now, before we end, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, you know what? I need to shout out, John Foley of Caught Up Music Group. Send a shout out to Lou for just helping organize everything and get us to where we are.
Of course.
Shout out to Steve Oropolo over there at the Underground. I was going to say American Veterans Radio. Steve, we love you. We appreciate you for always breaking our music. Shout out to B. Shout out to Chris. And shout out to Deborah. Shout out to Sherry at Cut It, Roll It, Smoke It. Deborah Gibson Porty, Terrell Rackley. Individuals that have sold into me that are enrooted in the community in San Diego, movers and shakers. So just I'd like to give a good shout out to them, and certainly last but not least, Planet Sun Films.
Thank you
for inviting us and always having our back. So thank you, Planet Sun Films.
Thank you for sitting down with me, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't wait for
your
music to drop.
I can't rest in peace.
Thank you, man.
Look for it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.